Hi folks, it's Nikki from WIFM, and today I am joined with my lovely Deputy Chair, the lovely Karen Farrell. Karen is from Turner and Townsend. Hi Karen.
Hi Nikki, how are you?
Really good, I'm really good, thanks. So thank you for being first in the hot seat as we discuss the Choose to Challenge as we're supporting International Women's Day. So we both choose to challenge, and we will be celebrating women's achievements. So this is going to be a series of videos that we do with the WIFM committee, talking about their careers, what balance and how they find the balance, and how they choose to challenge in their careers. So Karen, tell me a little bit about your role with TNT.
So I am the FM lead at Turner and Townsend's global flagship office based in London. I'm basically responsible for all aspects of their facility services, including leading a team of very motivated individuals.
Excellent. And what a beautiful building it is as well. We've been really lucky that you guys actually hosted us for the Women in FM conference a couple of years ago, when you thought you were just hosting us, and then I managed to drag you onto the committee, didn't I? A couple of years later, here you are, Deputy Chair. Ta-da!
Exactly. No, it was a brilliant experience, and yeah, so pleased to be here and to be Deputy Chair. Absolutely.
It was a really good event actually, and they were really good hosts, weren't they? So we did have a lot of fun. So I'm going to kick off with the questions for you. So with lockdown in mind, how do you feel that it's actually affected women in the FM industry?
Yeah, so I think definitely for women in particular who now find themselves in lockdown and homeschooling and still having to do their day job, it's been pretty hard. So I think for women in particular, lockdown has had an effect on them, because not only are they having to do their job, but they're also having to homeschool, be mum, be the parent, and be everything. And that's not to say that, husbands, partners haven't been there to help. But for some reason, I feel like women, it just tends to fall back onto us when it comes to, looking after the kids. And maybe it's that whole mother intuition that you want to organize everything and you want to do everything. So I think definitely that has been tough. A lot of women now are having to work sort of into the evenings, because during the day they haven't been able to, fully commit themselves to their job, because they have been their focus has been pulled elsewhere. So yeah, it's been tough for a lot of people.
It's that assumed responsibility, isn't it, in a way?
Yes. Exactly.
Excellent. And what things do you think could help people cope with the lockdown at the moment?
So definitely, I think with everything being so busy in our lives, working, homeschooling, I think it's so important that you take time to slow down. Now, easier said than done, but something that, you can do is something simple as like making a cup of tea. Really slow down the process, bring your focused attention to making that cup of tea. Because if you are a mum with a little one, like I am, I get very little sleep, so I drink a lot of tea. But actually using that time to just really regroup, gather your thoughts, focus on what you're doing, focus on the present moment. And by doing that, it will stop you from thinking about what you haven't done or what you should be doing. You're just simply having that moment to pause and focus on what you're doing and bringing you back into the present moment. So that would be my advice, because I think we are so busy. We don't really have time to, meditate for, an hour or go for a walk, but actually taking these almost like little micro pauses where you just kind of have a moment to breathe, reflect, focus on yourself, and then move forward in a positive way.
Brilliant, good stuff. And then what do you think the benefits of lockdown have been?
So I think there are loads of benefits to lockdown, and that would be having more time and space to maybe pursue things that you couldn't do before. The time that you would have been commuting to work, you can now focus on, I don't know, going for a run, or in the evening you can now cook a dinner, you know, from scratch. How many times have we just gotten, you know, takeaway or something like that? You can now actually cook something from scratch because you have the time. So I think there's definitely some positives there. And also maybe pursuing interests that you might have had that you didn't have the time. So for myself, I have pursued my interest of becoming a mindfulness coach. And as a result, I have now sort of started a little side hustle because I've had the time to pursue something outside of my sort of work remit.
Yeah, and that's been going really well, hasn't it? I mean, today that you've done your Coffee with Karen session, and you've then spoke at a couple of events now as well, so we're all super proud of you for that as well.
No, and I'm all about bringing mindfulness to the modern age and demonstrating that, you know, you can do it anywhere at any time whilst you're having a cup of coffee. But no, it's been really fun to actually have this time to just, you know, pursue an interest of mine, which has been great.
We found that ourselves as well. Obviously, as you know, with all the different things that I do with the different committees and the business, I was always trekking up and down between London and obviously with Sean, my business partner, being down there. But I really firmly believe if it hadn't have been for lockdown and that enforced pause to make me stay in one place, we've still been really busy in the business, but not running around and not commuting and spending more time with Steve, that actually made us focus on what we really wanted to do and what our why was. And obviously we've now gone through the adoption process and we're just waiting to be matched with a child now. And I don't think that would have happened had I still been on that blooming hamster wheel where I was running around like an absolute lunatic all the time. So I'm actually really grateful for lockdown and the space that it's provided me in my mind, because I wouldn't have stopped otherwise, I don't think. Not until I hit the wall, which is my usual thing, is like go, crash, and then it's an enforced pause then, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And in terms of your career, Karen, what would you say has been your biggest challenge in your career and how did you overcome that?
Yes, so definitely my journey through FM started off, you know, doing reception, and then I've taken some very big leaps, and I have sort of moved up very quickly. So, I mean, you could say I sort of fell into FM. So I think my biggest challenge for me, and maybe this is, you know, my own insecurities, but I always felt like I didn't have enough knowledge. Although yes, I could do the job and I was very good at the job, I maybe didn't have that solid foundation, that technical knowledge, that, you know, education that you get from formal training.
Yeah.
So I've sort of done everything in reverse. I sort of got to a, you know, quite a senior level and thought, you know what, I could really do with having, you know, a really good solid foundation of and knowledge of facilities management. So then I went back and studied.
Yeah.
So I did I think I originally did my level 3 IWFM qualification. This was years ago. And then I did my, you know, my diploma. And they have been fantastic because it's given me that formal education, that solid foundation, that knowledge that then has helped me sort of enhance my my job as a facilities manager.
I think it's a confidence thing though as well, because you know you could do it. We know you could do it. Sometimes I think, especially for women, I think sometimes they just need someone to say, actually, you're doing a great job and we recognise that this is the level that you're at. It's that self-confidence, isn't it, that comes from within. And that, so who would you say, my final question for you, who would you say is the woman that's made the biggest influence on your career and why?
Okay, so this probably won't come as a surprise, but Nikki, it is you. Yes, and the reason being, and I'm not just saying that because we're doing this interview, the reason being but I have known you for a very, very long time, but I have known you in different aspects. I've known you as just someone that I, when I was very young in my FM career, not young in age,
You're
but young in my...
I'm really old now, Karen. Rewind.
Young in my career. But, I knew you from networking because I started going to loads of events and I would see you and we would talk. And then obviously I've known you as being on your committee as a committee member, and now as your support, as your right hand, as your deputy chair. But through this whole time, you have motivated me, you have encouraged me, you've yeah, no, you really have. You've been a mentor. You have you've given me the confidence to pursue things. You've also, even like when I first, I became deputy chair and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. And you were like, that's just your confidence. That's just, I think I was a new mum then and everything. And you basically were like, that's not you, Karen. I know that you can,
you up and put you underneath my arm. And if an arm lock requires it, then I'll...
Yeah, exactly. And so Nikki, okay, maybe I should have said this sooner, but this is, this is the impact that you have had on me. And I'm so grateful.
Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting that. You've now just made me cry on the blooming video that we're going to be using.
Sorry.
That was really unexpected. Thank you. And I am super proud of you. Everything that you want to do is out there in your grasp, and you can go out there and get it. And I don't think you realise how much you inspire and motivate other people, because even when I know that you might be feeling a little bit unsure, a little bit down, outwardly everybody else sees the sunshine, and you walk into a room and you light it up. And when we were doing the event at TNT, and you were helping with, it was great because we got to experience your FM service as a guest, basically, because you were hosting us, weren't you? And
it was like a test.
Like, I love this girl, she's got so much energy. I was like, yes, she needs to be on the committee. I was like, Karen, thank you ever so much for giving us all this venue for free, etc. However, I'd like a little bit more, please. Why don't you on the committee with us? And you've just got such a lovely energy, so you're loved by all the committee as well. And I know that there's so many people in the community that think so much of you. So go out there and chase those dreams, because they're all out there for you and you can achieve all of them. And I am super, super proud of you. And I can't believe it. And I've got all emotional on camera. And that was a real shock. So thank you. That really, really means a lot. And I know that you're doing me super proud. You do every day anyway. But yeah, so for our pledge, what we chose to celebrate women's achievements. I didn't know we would actually be celebrating each other. Which is really random. But obviously we didn't want these to be really formal. WIFM isn't a massively formal environment anyway. It's all about supporting each other, and we just go with the flow with things and see how they pan out. And so I hope that by watching the video, it gives an insight into yourself, to us, to the WIFM committee. It might inspire other people to want to come and join us as well, or to get involved with some of the other SIGs and regions across IWFM. And for people that are chasing that career, just reach out and ask us for help. We're here to help in any way that we can. So thank you for being the first guest on the sofa. And I hope that these all come out okay and that they're received well across the network. And hopefully we get to hear about loads of other people across the industry. But thank you so much today. And yeah, you definitely curveball me there. But not very often I'm stuck for words, to be honest. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, babe. Have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of the day. Take care. We choose to challenge.
Choose to challenge.
Bye.